Yo, what's going on with y'all, man? And women's for the females. Hey, in today's video, we have another GFL Time Council update. And real quick, I will let YouTube see this video only because astrologically, the things that are happening this week do deal with the shift in July and stuff like that. But I will be uploading a video on Patreon on, I'm pretty sure, Monday, where we're going to ask a question to ETs about how we can fully step into our next phase of evolution. So for the YouTube people, if you want to see that, that's Patreon exclusive. You feel me? I do weekly time council updates. Last week we had Neptune retrograde inside of Aries. That's a big thing. That's huge as fuck. You feel me? And then Venus and Gemini. You feel me? It was a couple of things from last week, but this week let's talk about how first things first. We have Uranus entering into Gemini. This is actually huge, and it deals with reforming the mind at a base level. Now, keep in mind, right? Gemini is ruled over by Mercury, right? And Mercury is currently in Leo, right? Now, also understand this. Mercury also rules over Virgo, right? Mars is in Virgo, right? Understand this too. Uranus also rules over Aquarius. Right now, Pluto is going retrograde inside of Aquarius, and Pallas Athena is also in Aquarius. Now, what the fuck does this all mean, right? And by the way, for those of you guys who don't know, right, I'm going to give the astrology first, but then also give messages specifically from the Time Council and stuff like that. You feel me? But for the astrology, right, here's what all this means, right? So, first, I'm gonna mention Mercury and Leo, right? Mercury and Leo is going to deal with expressing your mind, expressing your thoughts, um, expressing, your different forms of communication, whether that's inside of yourself or outside yourself. And you'll also be thinking more about how you express yourself. You'll get more ideas about how to express yourself. You'll also be analyzing how you express yourself and stuff like that. So these all get taken into account when talking about Uranus and Gemini. And then also, because Mercury rules over Virgo and you have Mars and Virgo deals with taking action on analyzing. And because Mercury's inside of Leo, it means that it means that you may take more action in regards to analyzing how you express yourself. So if you've been thinking about like, yeah, I want to like switch up how I'm moving inside the world, I want to express myself differently, I want to show more parts of myself to the world, or just anything like that, or you're like, yo, not even if it's to the world, just be like, yo, I don't like how I interact with certain people, I want to change that, or whatever the fuck, you feel me? It's this energy. Literally, you're gonna be changing complete characters, bro. You feel me? It's a lot going on right now. But because what I mentioned with Mercury and Leo and Mars and Virgo, right? When it comes to reforming, when it comes to oh, and I was gonna mention this. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, right? That deals with having deep impulses to reform things, mainly from the past, because Pluto's going retrograde. If it was going forwards, it would just be it would just be a deep impulse to reform things. You feel me? But this is a deep impulse to reform things from the past, and because it's an Aquarius, and because my fault, and because Uranus is entering into Aquarius, is gonna deal with having a deep impulse to reform things from the past when in regards to expressing yourself. So reforming past ways of expressing yourself. You feel me? Which is why old parts of yourself may come through, especially with also Neptune retrograde inside Aries. You feel me? And let's not even mention how next week Saturn's also going retrograde. I'm not going to talk about that because that's next week. So that's going to be next week's Time Council update. If you're on YouTube, you're going to be on Patreon to see that. But anyway, then also Pallas Athena inside Aquarius, right? That gives us deep wisdom and power, right? Like when we reform ourselves, we get a sense of deep wisdom and power. So deep wisdom and power comes from reforming yourself. You feel me? Now, with all of that being said, that means that with Uranus entering Gemini, mixed with all these other energies, it's going to deal with reforming how you express and communicate your mind, thoughts, and ideas to yourself and others. So you'll communicate your mind, your thoughts, your ideas in a different way. You'll be reforming how you do that to yourself and to other people. You'll also be reforming how you analyze your expression, and you'll also be reforming how you express yourself based on what you analyzed. And when it comes to this performing, a lot of it will be reforming past ways of expression, and then turning it into new forms of expression with new ways of communication and new ways of sharing ideas and stuff like that. So yeah. And then we have on Thursday the full moon in Capricorn. That's going to deal with structuring our inner world and emotions. You feel me? So with that being said, right? Oh, and let me actually mention this. Because the full moon in Capricorn deals with structuring your inner world and emotions, that means that if you have been feeling triggered recently, that's probably on purpose, right? And it's not like it's not trying to like fuck you up too bad. Really, due to the fact that the full moon is going to be inside Capricorn, this means that when it comes to your triggers, you need to actually learn how to actually like bring a certain sense of structure inside your inner world, so that way you kind of have a bit more control over what goes on inside there. You feel me? And on top of that, right? As you also reform your, as you also bring structure to your inner world, you become more naturally disciplined, right? But especially emotionally disciplined. You'll be less reactive. You feel me? You'll actually have like, it's like you'll have all your emotions in the right place. You feel me? So yeah, if you are like getting triggered a lot, that's because your emotions are trying to show you where you do not have control at. You feel me? And the full moon in Capricorn is dealing with bringing structure and actually getting more control over your emotions and your inner world. You feel me? So yeah. Now without further ado, let's talk about what the Time Council mentioned. Now the overall energy, right? First thing, right, that they mentioned with the overall energy. This is something they said before, which deals with powerful moves being made and powerful shifts happening around you. So what could happen is the fact that people around you or just things around you can be powerfully shifting, right? Whether someone around you made a powerful move and then it shifts your whole entire life, or if just randomly life just starts getting like it just starts having dramatic shifts, or you yourself may be making more powerful moves, right? You've been thinking about fucking posting songs online and now you're finally doing it. You've been thinking about fucking posting your beats online, now you're finally doing it. You've been thinking about fucking posting your spiritual readings online, now you're doing it. You feel me? Whatever it is, right? Now you're it's like it could be stuff like that. You feel me? It could also be things like, yo, I gotta let like yo, this way I used to express myself in this way for like years upon years. It's time to finally let that shit go. So powerful moves don't even gotta always be doing new things. It can also be letting go of old things too. You feel me? So powerful moves are being made this week, whether you're making the powerful moves or just powerful things are happening around you and powerful shifts. You feel me? Next thing they mentioned is becoming a bit more like tender and warm with yourself. They've mentioned this a couple of times, so I can see why they're doing it again, especially because since this is a time where like a lot of old parts of yourself could pop up, and most of the time the old stuff popping up is not the beneficial old stuff. It's usually the conflicting old stuff. You feel me? Whenever that stuff pops up, you could get a bit more triggered and you may start getting mad at yourself more and stuff like that. You need to be more loving to yourself and embracing the experience and just going about it with the utmost love possible. So kind of just like being loving and warm to yourself is like an energy that's coming up, because you're going to need to do that in order to properly go about this shift. Next thing is something you mentioned a couple of times too, which is understanding the parts of yourself which are truly extraordinary and way beyond the ordinary, which makes sense because if you are analyzing your expression and changing that shit up and all these other things and seeing things from the past and stuff like that, some shit from the past may be some good things. Like you saw how in the past you always had this one unique way of expressing yourself, this one unique way of being and stuff like that, and now that's finally coming back. You feel me? Like for example, right? Um, with me, like there's a couple things with that actually, but like one thing was like as a kid I always loved being like the idea of being a fucking ninja and fucking with swords. Nigga, I'd never played with swords like that as a kid though. You feel me? I started getting swords now. I'm really good with the sword. I ain't gonna cap. Like I never really learned how to fight with a sword. But if you niggas watch my Instagram, actually by the time you see this video, the Instagram story's down by now. But if you guys have me on Instagram and y'all saw my story, y'all niggas would have saw me in the woods fucking with that sword. You feel me? And niggas like, yo, you really get with that shit? I'm like, yeah, I get with that shit. Niggas ain't know I could do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's like an old thing from the past, which was always unique about me, which I'm tapping into more now. I fucking love that whole ninja shit. You feel me? Yeah. And also the past lives I'm tapping into kind of deal with that whole entire vibe also. You feel me? But but also with like my YouTube, right? I want to start posting more coaching content. You feel me? I always wanted to put like coaching content on here, and like there was times like I was doing that, but the way I'm gonna do it now is in a way that I want to do it in the past. I made a whole separate YouTube channel called Adopt Me Now, where I was gonna do that at, but I'm just gonna post that shit on here, bro. I'm gonna have everything on here, bro. I don't feel like making no two separate channels, bro. You feel me? So yeah, but aside from that though, like me, that's like some regular schmegula degula shit. I ain't gonna cat. Like, there's more extraordinary things about me and also yourself, which can be popping up right now, and you may be recognizing, and you may be tapping into, and learning how to properly express those extraordinary parts of yourself. You feel me? And one of the last overall energy things, because I'm also gonna do the physical energy and the spiritual energy too. You feel me? But one of the last things with the overall energy is healing, like learning to like heal the heart and stuff like that. Which would make sense because, like, let's say like for example, some of the ways you express yourself may simply be like, you may only express yourself in certain ways because of trauma, for example. You feel me? And when you realize that, yo, this way of expressing myself is like not beneficial, it's toxic, you learn to heal the trauma and stuff like that. And then because you're able to heal that trauma, you're able to express yourself differently. You feel me? So it's like learning to like heal your heart and like just like heal your traumas and heal your wounds is like a big thing, because if old things are popping up, you're gonna have to probably heal, because a lot of things that come from the past, maybe like a lot of toxic things that we do from the past or even right now come from trauma and things that block us from being in tune with our true spiritual nature. You feel me? So yeah. Now with the physical energy, right? First thing, bro, y'all niggas know for like the past couple of fucking Time Council updates, this is one thing that they will not stop saying, bro. The fact that you'll be understanding more of the dream-like nature of reality, bro. They've been saying this shit for like 2, 3, 4 weeks now, bro. And I mean, I get it, right? Shit, that has been happening a lot in my life, and I've noticed other people like other people are realizing how like life is interacting with them, right? Like people in my life that I talk to who don't even, like, I have friends who are like aware, but like they could be more aware, and I'm seeing them become more aware, and they're noticing how life really is interacting with them and responding to them and their thoughts and their emotions and their habits and all these things. So now they're making changes in order to, better interact with life. So this could also deal with like noticing how like your karma plays out inside your life and stuff like that. You feel, which is going to be something we talk about when it comes to what's going on physically. You feel me? But yeah, like understanding the dream-like nature of reality is popping up way more. You know, understanding how when you understanding how when you interact with life from a certain identity and a certain perspective, you kind of get what you expect, or you get what you deserve. That shit kind of sucks to say like that, but like it really is like that, bro. Like this is something that all like the ancient yogis and the immortals know, that your life is your karma, bro. You always get what you deserve. Now, granted, a lot of things could have. A lot of things that you got what you deserved were unconsciously. Like if you were conscious, you wouldn't have done those things to get what you deserve. You feel me? But it happened out of unawareness a lot of the time. You feel me? But now that you're becoming more aware, you can see how, holy shit, when I do these things and think in these ways, life does these things and I get affected in these certain ways. You feel me? So yeah, that's one thing. Next thing they mention is this is something they kind of said before, which is like understanding like the hidden benefits behind like painful experiences, whether it's sadness, anger, just triggers, like understanding the hidden gift behind getting triggered, understanding the hidden gift behind certain things not working out, understanding the hidden benefits of certain conflicts. Yo, actually, I got told one time that you need to know when peace is too much peace and know when conflict is too much conflict, and that peace is death and that conflict is life. 'Cause think about it like this, right? When things are peaceful, right, it's like nothing is happening. When nothing is happening, things eventually begin to die. However, when it comes to life, right, life is full of conflict. Like even with like the fucking stars doing nuclear fission and stuff like that. It's like inside the fucking core of a sun, you have fucking elements fucking just mashing and bashing and conflicted with each other, which gives birth to new elements, which eventually build all this shit. You feel me? So I'm saying that because it's like conflict is like what actually produces growth. Now, granted, there can be too much conflict, which can lead to fucking destruction, right? But there also can be too much peace where there's not enough movement, there's not enough growth happening. You feel me? So conflict can be beneficial, and noticing the hidden benefit of conflict is something that may be popping up right now. And also, as you realize the hidden benefit and the hidden message, then you'll be able to actually have less conflict with inside your life. You feel me? And yeah, they also mentioned how like right now, how I'm put this on. So right now, like it's summer, it's summertime. You feel me? Now, granted, winter already ended like when it was spring, right? But like this is kind of a metaphor. You feel me? So winter deals with death, right? Now we're kind of like still experiencing death of certain things, but it's also like an end to that winter period. You feel me? Like some niggas may still be acting like how they was back in winter, being more introspective, being more inside, being more secluded, and you may still have that going on, but you'll be breaking that shell more. And really think about this. Really think about this shit, right? There's a lot of things happening right now that deal with us changing how we express ourselves and all this type of stuff, right? What you think gonna happen when it's Leo season? Leo season is all about expressing yourself. So if you really lock in on getting like your character right, your identity right, and stuff like that, you feel me? Leo season could be way more lit for you because you could be expressing yourself in more proper ways. Now, granted, I'm sure that well, I ain't gonna say I'm sure, but it's possible that there might be certain retrogrades that happen during that period of time or something like that, which can make you look at old forms of expression. So during Leo season, you may be popping out expressing yourself, or maybe about still reflecting on or it may still be about reflecting on how you express yourself. But in both scenarios, no matter what, Leo season will be way more beneficial if you kind of check yourself right now. Because even if Leo season is really more about just because I didn't check the astrology yet. I ain't talked to the time council about it yet. I'm kind of just focusing on what's happening right now. You feel me? Anyway, if Leo season is more about like looking at old forms of expression, that means that if you handle that shit right the fuck now, you'll get the benefits of doing that right now when Leo season comes. So it's like no matter what Leo season deals with, you'll benefit in Leo season if you take care of what you gotta take care of right the fuck now when it comes to reforming how you express yourself and how you communicate your thoughts and how you express your thoughts and whatever the fuck. You feel me? So yeah, they also mentioned that like this is like a very karmic time. So like a lot of karmic cycles may be popping up, which you need to realize. So like whether it be like relationships, like you always get with certain people, and then like you know after getting with them for a certain period of time, y'all always break up over the same exact things. You feel me? Or whether it's with like family, like you and your family are always good, and then you guys have arguments around this period of time. Or whether it's like you always like achieve like a certain height in your life, and then you always like drop it. Whether it's like a spiritual height, financial height, physical height, or all of them. You feel me? Certain cycles, or it could be good shit too. It could be good. It don't gotta be bad cycles. It could be good cycles too. You feel me? Long story short, is just the fact that karmic cycles are popping up right now. You feel me? And it's like you're kind of no, and it's like we're meant to be noticing like how what's happening in our life is also aligned with what's going on like spiritually. You feel me? It's like we're seeing like how what's happening in the physical is a result of our spiritual connection and how our spirit is trying to communicate with us. You feel me? And it's like kind of noticing like the marriage of spirit and matter, and kind of seeing like the hidden path in your life. Because a lot of people be like, "Yo, I want to be more physical," or "I want to be more spiritual." They don't realize that all that shit should be mixed together. There's a hidden path where both things come together with the fact that what you do on earth, right, and how like life interacts with you is also a reflection of what you're doing with your spirit and how your spirit interacts with you as well. You feel me? So yeah. They also mentioned that you may get a bit more like okay, so they mentioned that some niggas may feel like kind of lost or like confused, right? But this isn't bad because it can make you want to search for more things. You feel me? So it's like if you end up feeling like lost or confused, like you don't know where the fuck you're going, that feeling is trying to get you to think about where you want to go. You see, you don't need to like think about like what am I meant to do? Where should I be going? No, where the fuck do you want to go? You feel me? Remember that your life is a canvas. You could make whatever the fuck you want to make on this bitch. You feel me? So because of that, you need to think about what you want to do and not what you think you should be doing. You feel me? Niggas be like, yo, I'm so lost. I wish my guys would tell me what the fuck I should be doing. It's like, no, no, no. What do you want to do? You feel me? And yeah, they also just mentioned that like physically that if you like take action on all these things and you are, doing the things to benefit yourself in reality, that there's going to be positive outcomes and positive news coming to the forefront. You feel me? So yeah, now for the last part of this reading with the more spiritual energy and stuff like that. Number one is once again learning how to manifest your spirit. That's like the one of the biggest things. Learning how to actually like manifest from your spirit and actually understand how your spirit is interacting with you in your life and understand the fact that you can manifest whatever the fuck you want from your spirit. You feel me? Also learning the fact that when it comes to like your mission on the earth, for those who feel like they have a mission on the earth and have a purpose on the earth, your purpose to the world is very intimately connected with your purpose to yourself. And you cannot fulfill your purpose to the world if you don't fulfill a purpose to yourself. So right now, spiritually, right, we may be getting more urge to like understand ourselves more. You feel me? To understand ourselves and what we want to do and not what we think we should be doing, and learning more about our unique gifts and abilities and traits and stuff like that, because when you tap more into yourself and understand yourself more, you're able to express that authentic, true, powerful, divine nature to the external world and properly fulfill that spiritual mission. You feel me? They also mentioned that spiritually we're kind of just zooming out to gain perspective and realizing that all the more like dense karmic shit that is like triggering us, it's not that it doesn't matter, but we're realizing that we don't need to give energy into these old parts of ourselves no more. We're kind of zooming out, seeing the greater picture, and realizing that our triggers and the karmic cycles that are happening right now don't really matter in the sense of like, this is not going to be lasting forever. This is just trying to teach me. This is not like no permanent shit, whatever the fuck, you feel me? So like if karma shit's playing out, especially zooming out to get perspective is gonna help, because it'll be like, yo, yeah, like first I was upset, like why is this shit happening? Now it's like, oh, this shit's happening. Who gives a fuck? I see it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning my lesson, nigga. I'm gonna just do better in the future. You feel me? Cool, right? Um, Also learning how to surrender. You feel me? Surrendering to life, surrendering to your spirit and what's happening. You feel me? Everything that's happening, your spirit is, letting to your spirit lets it happen. You feel me? And if you get in tune with your spirit and surrender to your spirit, you'll kind of understand why it's happening and what your spirit's trying to show you and how to kind of get more in tune with it and learn the lessons of it and then express more of your spirit inside the world. And then last thing is kind of just like receiving like messages from our spirit, especially like as a result of bringing harmony and balance to our life. So it's like as you bring a balance to your life with like being super active and super passive, super spiritual, super physical, right? As you kind of like bring this balance, you kind of like just like have like you kind of you'll have more communication with your spirit, but it won't be in a way where it's like you have to like leave your body all the time. For you feel me? You could just be living your life every day fully in the physical, but also getting those messages from your spirit too. You feel me? So spiritually, it's like there's also like this harmony being brought that will allow you to kind of constantly receive messages from your spirit while also being in the physical world too. You feel me? So yeah, that's the energy for this week, and that's also like some energy that's gonna follow in July also. So expect this energy not just for this week but also for the month. You feel me? I'm gonna end the video right here and stuff like that. I love you all. I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Peace the freak out. You feel me?